Great Nigerians and wonderful fans of living television, welcome again today. Good afternoon. This is another day on your favorite program, Issues of the Moment. In today's Issues of the Moment, we'll be looking at Abia State Chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which is described as improper, unwarranted, and unacceptable the alleged attack by the state governor, Dr. Alex Otti, on the leadership of the Anglican Church of Nigeria, Abia. This will be looking at. As usual today, we have a wonderful analyst in the house who are going to do justice to this. We're also going to look at some other matters, interesting issues, as it concerns the alleged attack on the Anglican Church. From my far left today, I have Honorable Tony Abanyim, popularly known as Democracy, is a media person and also before now one of the forerunners of what we call it, the legislative arm of the then Abia local government, not local government, not Abia. All right, and he is here with us in the studio. Tony, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Prof, for having me, and good afternoon, our esteemed viewers and fans.
After him, I have Comrade Nnamdi Lekwachi. Comrade Nnamdi Lekwachi is a historian. He is a political affairs analyst and also a public affairs analyst. And, he is always a man who deals with dates, figures, and facts. And so he's here in the house with us. Comrade, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, actually. Good day, viewers, listeners, and fans.
All right. The opposition party was reacting to Alex Otti'S administration's response to the church advice contained in a communique issued after its 17th synod, which advised the state government to fix the economic growth in Abia and desist from sacking civil servants employed in the state civil service. And also, having said this, this statement did over well with the state government. And then the PDP opposition party had to react to that effect. In the first place, we are going to take them gradually, and I want us to be very, very positive in our reactions to this, so that our viewers and listeners will understand what actually happened. In the first place, let me start with you, Mr. Democracy, because it falls within your purview as a democratic man. Now, the Anglican Communion, or bishops, whatever denomination they are, do they have any right to ask for good governance in the first place?
Well, Prof, thank you so much. You put your mouth where your money is, it is said. And the church, to the best of my knowledge, is a stakeholder, very critical stakeholder. And what makes them stakeholders is that during the elections, politicians were going there every now and then to canvass for votes. And while doing that, they were told that their welfare will be taken care of. Their welfare includes giving people employment, paying their salaries, providing infrastructure, taking care of their well-being and security. So, in all of this, if any of these things is not seen to be happening, they definitely have to react, because you promise them of good welfare, taking care of their well-being. And at the end of the day, if they see that these things are not being taken care of, they have the right to react, just like they have reacted. And I don't see anything wrong. In the first place, even in the Bible, those kings in the Bible, between Saul, David, and all the rest of them, they were politicians. And we were told that it is only the prophets that cause them to order. So I don't see the reason why anybody can contemplate that the church doesn't have the right to call the government of the day to order. Moreover, what they gave was an advice. And the governor spends our money here appointing advisors. and somebody is offering it free. So why would you be happy with that? Why would you appreciate it and, you know, see those, you know, advice and then separate the chaff from the wheat and take those ones that are very, you know, people oriented and even if you don't like what the man, the face of the man that's giving the advice, you take the message and throw away the messenger. That's the way I look at it.
All right, comrade.
Yes.
Yeah, like just like the same question I asked, do the church have the right to make a demand from the government or advise the government?
Well, I would say this, you see, the church we have even talking about is here on earth.
Yes.
You understand? And then policies of government will affect the church. If the government fails to build infrastructure, the church suffers. If the government fails to provide security, the church suffers. So I think the church has a stake in any project that is worthy of the designation government or governance. But be that as it may, I think there were some things I saw in both statements that to me I feel shouldn't have been or shouldn't have been there. I want to say it this way. You see, the PDP is playing the role of opposition, which happens to be watchdog. Is 10 minutes attack. You understand? But I would have preferred vituperation and counter vituperation. You understand? But unfortunately, there was something I feel shouldn't have been there. The government, in trying to respond, went petty. And what do I mean? That one of the signatories was looking for job, was looking for the daughter was actually affected, and you know that he was trying to recommend someone to be the leader of the traditional ruling council in Abia State. He was also trying to control the motor parks through having someone who is the ally to head the NURTW. Just only one person wanting all this. But then I think I do not understand why that response failed directly to address the matter. You understand my point? That I'm going this petty, but that's fine. I have this to say: the government should also understand that it was given a 4-year term, not a 100-day term. You can only urge Abians to bear with you, understand that the journey is still far, and that you will definitely do what? Live up to expectation. And then if you come to the issue of the sack itself, I think it's something that maybe as we go on, we begin to...
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Yeah.
All right, democracy, what is it? What was this advice? The advice is that the government should fix the economic roots and stop sacking civil servants. Considering the position of the church, here we are predominantly Christians, here at this part of the globe, and then automatically every person must belong to one church or the other. So for them to have advised, maybe few of these persons sacked may have been members of Anglican or some other denomination. So what do you think in this advice? Say, stop, look into economic roots, and also stop sacking civil servants.
Well, you know, in this part of the world, when you are aspiring to occupy any position, you stoop so low, you go to the clinic and look at credit. You even go into, no matter how highly placed, you go into Bukas to eat in office because, you know, those roads that are impassable, like the Omar roads of this world, the Rakot road of this world, all those places that is no go area, that are taken over by criminals and all that. You pack your security men and get to those areas, you know, convert the vote. As soon as you win, you become His Excellency, and because we are Africans, an emperor, nobody talks to you any longer. You become a Kanyesi. Whatever thing you say becomes law. You know, that is our problem here. Let me tell you, during those days of death and Mbako, you know, there was, you were there, all manner of attack from the center, the APN government, and center wanted Imo State at all costs. And, you know, because of the influence of people like College Sobi, Timba and Kaleba, Keo Paliwe, and all the rest of them. You know, the big shots here in Abia, call it Mokan, call it Nanakal, John, all of them were of the MPN party. They didn't want to back them. Even though they live in Abia, they saw what Abia was doing because Abia was almost lost after the Civil War because Abia was destroyed. A lot of bombings here destroyed the camp completely. You know, the bunkers, you know, dumped here and there. You weren't there. You know, some of us that was around can tell you better what happened there during that time. And the place was kind of abandoned. And then Babin came within a space of 2-3 years, fixed Abia. And this man that were attacking him lived there. He never went for any of them. He was busy doing his thing.
Yes.
You know, at the time, some students from Naked Polytechnic then, it was like that school was a state school then before the federal government took over. Came protesting with their placards to the government house, look at house, you know, carrying their placards and written all kinds of things. Mbakwe ugly governor, Mbakwe you are this, Mbakwe big nose, Mbakwe big stomach.
The whipping governor.
You know, they were jesting and thought that all of those things they were saying could have provoked the man. You know, those days you come out to address the people. Not this time, the governor will be there and send one, you know, Arab boy to go and address mature people. The governor came himself to address the students. Do you know what he said? Okay, I've seen what you wrote on your placards, Mbakwe ugly governor. Yes, Mbakwe big nose. Your mothers and your fathers who are handsome and beautiful, are they governors? Everyone started laughing. That was the end of that protest. You know, but these days, every little thing, the man in authority will look at it as an attack. You know, our governor, our brother, who is also an Ababo, Governor Alex, with all due respect to him, should a little bit add some humor to this governance thing. Okay, Bazu came here on one of the media houses and was asking about people fly over Barcelona, and the whole media houses went, you know, up in flames. He himself, Governor, the next moment printed a t-shirt, came to the media space and showed us that fly over Barcelona. Nobody stoned him. You understand? All of those kind of things, that is what we need in government. I will say this several times. Our governor should come down from that height, come low. That was why Okezeso did it. 8 years. There was relative peace here. Everybody was running away from other states, coming down to Abia, call it my place in Imo, call it Egboji. And I'm like, we come to me in here because there was peace here. So we'll appreciate our governor to do some kind of thing like that. But looking at it from the job sack issue, those people, are you saying, Governor, is he saying within his 8 years space, or 4 or 8 years, he's not going to employ people? Definitely he's going to employ people. And who is he going to employ? Abians and stakeholders in Abia. If he wants to do like TRG, who sacked, you know, non-Abians, who are Igbos, and sacked non-Abians, who has even sacked just less than 2 years to their retirement age, they were sacked, you know, unsettled or paid for. Till today, they are still in the industrial court with Abia state government. If he wants to employ Abians alone, he's at liberty to do that. The governor who left, okay, but even if it is 24 hours to the end of his tenure, he was still governor and has the right to employ people. And who is the employee? Abians. If in that list of sacked workers, there are people from Sokoto State, Cameroon, Ghana, and all that, if he sees to sack them, he can do that. But we are talking about government employing people, and those that were employed, you are sacking. And we are made to know that monies governor has gotten in 3 months, okay, they didn't get in 1 year. So why can't you do that? Why can't you go ahead and absorb them? And probably, unless those that came through the back door, but if they were employed properly, absorb them, allow them. Then put so that you can be able to pay salaries. Let there be an employment embargo for now, because those that were employed before you came, you still want to make sure they are paid. This is how give it a human face. Then go into construction of roads. I told them, I quarreled with them so much this time around. They say I'm attacking them using my media space platform and all that. I said, no, I'm not attacking them. I'm attacking you. My problem is that you are still trying to do the old thing these other guys did. Everybody was complaining, including some of us who were members of PDP, were complaining. You don't just construct a road that is just less than 10 poles and you just, you know, put on your canopies, put on your tents and come to commission a walkable distance road, Omini Road, and all of them come on. You know, don't stop. I didn't like all of that. You are doing the same thing. Go into Port Harcourt. You came here and flashed and celebrated Julius Berger. Bring them. Julius Berger works whether it is raining or shining. Why can't they start? If there are encumbrances on Port Harcourt Road, the company that is handling it before now, if they are competent, put the papers in order, let them continue. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Go into Omoru. People are suffering there. If you hear people living from Omoru, if you hear what they say, I visited Omoru myself, St. Peter's Catholic Church at Omoru. My brother, I saw a python that swallowed a goat. I saw catfish on the road. That road has been waterlogged for over 20 years. Permanent water from January to January. So our governor should just hack into this whole people-oriented advice and take them, no matter who is bringing the message, take the message, the juicy nature of the message, take it and throw away the person.
All right. Hey, comrade. Yeah. Now going through this, the advice is asking Alex Otti, to fix the roads, the economic roads, and also stop sacking workers. It is also a note, according to the opposition party, that more than 10,000 civil servants have been dismissed.
Yes.
And then that is the advice they gave.
Yes, I think for me, if you ask me, I would say the advice was in order. So if you are telling the governor to build economic roads, it simply means you are talking about roads that will do what? Bring about connection, economic arteries.
Boost the economic
arteries to connect, as if arterial roads that will bring about network, maybe linking one rural community to the urban center, and then creating markets, creating jobs, creating effective communication. The governor is here to do that, and I have said here before, I had expected to hear that. Yes, I was not given a 100-day mandate, but I was given a 4-year mandate. You understand? But that's fine. And I think when Honorable was actually talking, he did say some of the roads had stayed over 20 years, and that is chiefly the making of PDP. Chiefly, if you say 20 years, because we do not about party for 24 years, but then that notwithstanding, I would have expected that the governor told us, and I'm talking now in respect of what I read from Kazwe Uko, and to me it was flimsy. You can't be telling us that it was politically motivated. You understand? Civil service is a neutral body, and it's a part of the executive arm of government, in charge of what? Execution of policy, implementation of policies of government. You do not come and begin to think that those employed by PDP are PDP. I say this because the governor, when he resumed, or when he went into office newly, the first thing he did was to do what? Suspend PAMSEC, and then also order the head of service to do what? To drop. And I was asking the question, why does it mean that these persons are perceived to be good persons? And some people were even telling me that yes, they are good. But I said civil service is supposed to be neutral, not politically tempted or colored. That's it again. I think it was only recently that I was reading from the media head of the governor, who was now saying that the employment did not follow due process of advertisement, then application, then other processes, interviews, and then even probation and the rest of them. But that's fine. But I think that should have come before all this time. But there was no enough explanation given until these things started happening. So if the employment process did not follow the due process, why not you release a statement saying the fact that this thing did not follow the due process, we think that we will employ, but we have to do what? Allow this one to do. Then let us have what? That implement.
Or tell them to go and reapply.
Or tell them to go and reapply. As long as that does not affect the wage bill of the state. As long as it does not affect the wage bill of the state. And you also look at whether it was captured in the budget, because some of these things will appear there as either capital expenditure or even economic expenditure. You look at the wage bill, you now look at the cost, and now see whether they are there. You understand? That was where I think the governor and he still did not get things like that. Then as for economic growth, when he was campaigning, yes, when we were talking about $27 million from the World Bank, which Governor Okezibazo and people secured in bid and could not even do much. We were vocal in our criticism. Now, the governor, when he was even declared winner, went with Julius Berger to inspect the road, and then some other roads in Abia. Ever since then, we have not heard much. So, what we are saying is that Governor Alex Otti, there are some statements that may not actually need response, that will need action.
Yeah.
Action. And then again, a part of the statement did not directly address him. Even the village you are talking about, the people said all tiers of government, all tiers, which means the federal, the state, and the local. He said all tiers of government should declare emergency on road in Abia State. Both the federal government, both the state and the local should declare emergency on roads. You understand? So to me, and then again, the idea of building short distance roads and then yes, I think we are all praying that this governor succeeds and then he gets his act right and fixes the state.
All right. Before we go on a very short break, let me come to you again, Honorable. And then, according to the PDP, the opposition party, they allege that what is most insulting to the members of the 17th Synod of the Anglican Church of Abia, the entire congregation of the Anglican Communion, and in fact, the Christendom, is for Governor Otti to say that out of the lots of bishops that attended the Synod and signed the communique, only one man standing behind the personal interest dictated the letters of the communique and persuaded others to sign a communique whose content was evident even to those who do not live in Abia State.
Listen, let me tell you, Abba in particular is going to every woman. Abba is a commercial, has this commercial interest from every Nigerian. Look at the Mondays that something, how it has affected even those that are coming from, even outside the shore of Nigeria. Yeah. Those coming from Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, and all the rest of it. It has also affected them. Abba goes beyond that. If somebody comes from Togo and was part of that meeting, somebody comes from Ghana and was part of that synod, and appends his signature or say, oh, I can come with what I'm saying, the person is right. So Abba is very key to everybody living within the West African sub-region. So there's nothing wrong about those bishops being there and one man saying what they like and they conform. There's nothing wrong about it. Very possible that probably you don't like the face of the man that echoed the resolution of orders and whatever thing that is content, and he started picking holes here and there. Left the substance of the message and was trying to tell us that he don't like the man. I was told, and I know, that Christian Jordan Dioguzo, the bishop of Abia Anglican Diocese, is his very good friend, and they schooled together at Tonga High School in the same class and all that. It's very possible that the vindictive nature of an African is trying to play out now, because I know that in 2015, Christian Jordan is from Obingwa and may have supported his brother, the former governor, is from this place, against Otti. Very possible Governor Otti may not have forgotten that. But I think it is high time we start living this life of this, what I can describe as exemplary life. Good leadership, quality leadership, because our children are watching. If we continue to be, live this life of vendetta, our youths are watching. Where is there Sam Bagwe today? He's gone. Where is Abacha today? He's gone. Otti'S was governor yesterday. Where is he? Gone. Otti, 8 years. Look at Otti'S, is now history. He should remember, he has 4 years. If grace favors him, 8 years, he becomes history. So it is important that our governor forgets about the government of the past and focus on what he bet on the ground and hit the ground running for real, not hitting the ground running on basis of newspaper, social media spaces and all that. We want our government to forget about who did this and that. I'm not saying that if anybody goes over with government property, if anybody tampers with government, even I have areas I'll take them to where people who have taken over government land and properties. I have places out. If you illegally acquires government property, definitely you have to vomit it. The governor should go ahead and recover, but he can still do it very softly and still succeed in doing it, for goodness sake. And focus on governance. And that is important to all of us. If you don't like my face and I have a message, in our local parliament, they used to say that Ali Wezoka, Europe, that is my, my people there. They will tell you that, okay, this guy is saying they rate it, but to avoid the man thinking that he's now my friend, that I'm now an empty head, he's now the person that is telling me what I'm doing. If he says it, you will dismiss him. My friend, go and sit down. But you go back home and tell yourself, this guy, even though I don't like him, but he said they rated. That is how to be mature, for goodness sake. We should live above this board and start being very civil, start being very civilized. Think like people that know God, think like people that goes to church, that are Christians, not still doing the primitive thing of trying to, back here and there and bite here and there because you don't like his face, because it cost you didn't win the election when you are supposed to win it. After all, we are getting more money now. So our governor should absorb everybody, make everybody his friend. Okay, see, that's the best of my knowledge, I don't know. I didn't see anybody who told me that, okay, they sent some people to beat him up, to kill him and all that. If he did, there be some. It wasn't like my place where it is a daily thing, where somebody will tell you that I was beaten up, my house was burned down by the government and all that. It's not like in a state where they will tell you that, oh, good and fine. Because I was there, they told me, oh, the governor has provided everything, even built flyovers in the bush. But we don't like him. So, and the man came out and said, oh, okay, you don't like me, I must get whatever I want, at all cost. And he's in the Senate, at the end of the day, succeeded in being the very first time an Igbo man is becoming Minister for Works. So, we have to take it easy for real.
All right.
Honestly, on a very serious note, we have to take it easy.
All right, shortly before we go break, comrade, what I say, because I think the opposition party had alleged it was an attack because of Otti'S statement that those who signed were persuaded to do so.
I think PDP is learning how to play opposition, and Otti is learning how to play incumbency. That is just the thing. Yes.
Everybody's learning now.
The both of them are still learning, you understand? Yes. PDP, having been there since, in fact, from the get-go of Return to Democracy in 1999, is still finding it difficult to adjust to how to play opposition. Governor Alex Otti, having been in the opposition since 2015, having lost the election 2 times and then working to have, now elected, is also learning how to be an incumbent person in office. But there is something about it, you see. For once, and I'm talking to those who are writing for Governor Alex Otti, there are some personal information the governor may even share with you. If you are a competent speech writer, you understand? If you are a competent, you do not serve those things to the public domain. You have to redact some things. I know why I'm saying this. You see, there were places where the statement said the church. There were also places where it said the synod. It should have addressed the synod, not the church. The church means the entire Anglican communion, as they have to. Yes, or even to an extent, yes. You should have addressed the synod, not the church. It's very, very important they understand this. But that said again, I think I am even happy. I wish all other churches could also do what? Begin to play the voice. So begin to play their own part. There is nothing wrong in telling the governor that you have not done economic roads, that you have to build economic roads. There is nothing wrong in saying to the governor, you're sacking people. See, there is what they call labor hoarding. Labor hoarding simply means returning workers in hard times. In fact, the state has fallen on hard times. You have to return workers because when you lay them off, you understand, crime will escalate. Yeah. So what you have to do is to hold labor. You understand? And then gradually, economy will sit back and things will begin to move in a normal way. So I think the governor, nobody's above advice. We here, we are even advising now. Every day we talk here. I know Honorable talks on radio. I do too. What we are doing is we are seeking the good of the state. We are not trying to
insult anybody.
Yes, insult anybody. And then there is no government that can excel that does not listen to criticism. That is why in democracy, it is all about pluralism. You have opposition. It could be one opposition, it could be two, it could be three, it could be four. But what are they doing? They are trying to do what? Lend their voice and say this policy is not good. It should have been done like this. Atiku, Peter Obi, even other parties took Tinubu to court. You understand? It is still opposition. And through the process, you learn. Because the democracy is not a one-man show. One person does not steal the show in democracy. Somebody must have a say. Somebody must also have a way.
All right, our wonderful viewers, we are going to go on a very short break. When we come back, issues of the moment. We'll continue. Remember, when we come back, we're going to look at other issues. And a lot of Abians were happy when we had news that our governor, Dr. Alex Otti'S, visited the widow of late Sir, Chief Barrister Sir Onona Kambakwe a few days ago with some gift items. And that shows that he's going to do well.
You don't call him doctor. You know, said he's a PhD.
Okay. So we are going to look at this as we come back. Don't go away. Keep watching Living TV. Wonderful viewers and great Nigerians, I'm happy you're still there watching your favorite television, the Living TV. We are back again after a short break. We're still on issues of the moment. We are discussing the state today, only the state. All right, moving forward. The party also looked at some of the notable economic roads like Port Harcourt, Ohan, Kuwobohia, and other roads in Abia and its environments that have not been given any attention, especially as, according to PDP, as Governor Alex Otti made cheap political capital out of this when he hurriedly went on inspection of these roads with construction giant, that is Julius Baker. Immediately he was declared governor-elect. And have those roads been fixed? That's the question. All right, and then let me start with you this time. Now, it's obvious a lot of people kicked against that move then. Even here, I think we discussed it.
Yes.
He was not yet sworn in. He was moving around with, moved around some of the bad points in Abia here with Julius Baker.
Yes.
Abia held him. Abia was very
Dr. Zimbabwe is a good man. You tried the news.
Abia held him, even while this governor was still on set.
Yes.
Yeah, let me start with you.
Yes. I think I hope.
Sorry, please, our phone line is now open. You can call us, tell us where you're calling us from, make your contributions, Remember, the number is 091-682-84994. 091-682-84994. You can call us. Please go ahead.
Yes, I hope, I'm praying it doesn't end up in a fanfare. Yes, it doesn't end in a fanfare or still like that. I'm also anticipating that the governor will fix that very protocol because that one is in the heart of Abians. It's what virtually everyone is crying because people now go to protocol through through a chair. In most cases now they now use express or through Owerri, and it's a long distance. We are talking about something that is 45 minutes, just like yeah.
Depending on where you're coming from.
I schooled there. I passed through National High School, Igbo National High School, and then I know what that road used to be. But it's unfortunate. The last time I was there, I think 2 years ago or so, the mountain, a mountain-sized heap of refuse dumped there. Send shiver down my spine. Then again, the school itself had dilapidated. But there is something about that school. It was built by Igbo State Union, ISU. Something Ohaneze Ndi will try to replicate now. And with contribution for Igbo, for Igbo National High School in 1948. But that school is gone now. In fact, it become a den of hoodlums. And then again, you look at a road like Oboya. You look at and these are access roads to Port Harcourt. And when they say build economic growth, it means road that we do will facilitate economic activities. It's not a bad advice, but it's also regrettable, and I will keep saying it, that for over 20 years, the people could not fix these roads. It's a very big shame. Because I schooled there. I remember when 5 naira, you will go from east, and I'm talking about during military regime, you go from east, Ngwaroda East to Port Harcourt Road. 5 naira those days. But it's unfortunate where we are today. So the governor should see this, should welcome this. You don't respond to everything. I keep saying it. And in responding, you also have to be tactical. If you remember the time when people like Ruben Abati did this job, they did it with professionalism. You understand? You don't drag everybody to go and start fighting cheap fights. There are things you overlook, and they also have to be careful for the role the religion also plays. You remember the case of Ikedo Hakim? Yes, how that imbroglio, that alleged encounter with a Catholic priest culminated in loss of election. So every government must also respect it, because these are the same persons you go to, you seek their prayers, you go to them during campaign, you even use them during palliative distribution. You come there to canvass votes. So if they are saying you are not building roads, you have to look inward. You understand? And then those who are also writing or those who are also releasing statements, they have to be professional.
All right, Honorable, the same thing also. Now, looking at these roads mentioned and even dragging the Julius Berger, that heightened the hope of all the Abians, especially the Abia residents. In the first place, is that proper?
What?
When the sitting government is now handed over?
But to me, because we are outgoing government, there's nothing wrong about it. But because of political sentiments and treachery, to me, it doesn't make any meaning. But opposition and those that are angry that they lost the election will complain. But had it been a PDP candidate who won that election and kept to do that, will look as if as a problem?
No.
You won't. It's because it's coming from the opposition. So just like I've been saying, what we have to do is to start thinking civil, start behaving civilized. That's the only thing that can save us from all this quagmire. Because a lot of societies and climes, they have gone past where we are. We are still ignoring. People are going to the moon. India, yesterday, we started with them. Yeah. They were also colonized by Britain like we were. A friend of mine who was in the House of Assembly, Abraham Oba, said that by 1985, he used to travel to Bombay in India. You see people defecating on the road. But today, go to Bombay, is something else. India is, if not number one, in ICT today. India, just earlier in the year, went to the moon. Alone, single-handedly, on edit. But look at us, we are still talking about cattle wrestlers, still talking about herdsmen, we are still talking about bribing the judiciary, we are still talking about, some assaulted grammar that is a conventionally known to be one thing, to mean some other thing in Nigeria. You can imagine, politicizing everything. If you are not from, the president is not from your side, whatever thing he does is nonsense. If the president comes, he will try to replicate what his successor did by bringing all his brothers, whether they are empty-headed or not. In as much as I can also say, if you can do it very well, and you are from, the same womb, the same parents with the president, come in and do it. What we need is the result. What I'm trying to tell our governor, Alex Otti, is to try as much as possible to write his name, engrave his name on his door. He visited there Mbakwe's wife. Mbakwe left the service of governance over 40 years ago, at the 1st of December 1983. The former head of state, Buhari, General Buhari, came with his cohorts and chased them away. And you can imagine what Mbakwe did in less than 3 years for Abia, for the old Imo state. We call it the present Abia, the old Imo, now Imo, and part of Ebony. Less than 3 years, with mega resources. You can see his signatures everywhere. Achievement of Mbakwe is still staring at the faces of today's present governors. Within here.
In 3 states.
Yeah, in 3 states. So our governor,
what is now 9 states under the Eastern region?
Our present governor today, Dr. Alex Otti, should also leave a footprint that will make somebody visit his widow wife. Visit his family, let me say his family, after 40 years of being a governor. If Mbakwe didn't well, nobody could have remembered Ahibe, Victoria Ahibe Mbakwe. Nobody could have remembered him. Because there's some Mbakwe, Mbakwe in Aba. Where is Mbakwe's property in Aba? Mbakwe have built Arena Market. How many shops does he have in Arena? That is the problem. Everyone wants to own it all. Everyone wants to own it. I want it to start in my tenure and finish in my tenure. Mbakwe wasn't interested in that. Look at his legacies. As at 1979-80, Mbakwe has started already thinking about power generation. 40 years ago. And today we are still ignoring just within the neighborhood of my in-laws at Abaja in Wangel. That was where they call it PDF. The power station built by Mbakwe 40 years ago. We are still talking about patching of road. What took away Mbakwe from us? Go better for us. 40 years on, we are still talking about patching of road. Look at what they did here at Bata and at the rear there. The same old practice.
And it's off again.
The same old practice. That is what you are saying. Let Governor Otti, our own brother, our bad man, Otti didn't come from America, not live in the US. He was one of us here, schooled here. He knows what the Obama wants. What do we want in the first place? Give us roads. Just like the Senate, advised. Try as much as possible to enhance security. Go and talk to Geometrics. We are told that while he served as Group Managing Director of Diamond Bank, that Diamond Bank brought a chunk of money that was used to establish Geometrics. Now you are the governor. In that same place, you signed the money, to fix that very infrastructure. Geometrics. Go and talk to them now. Why are you keeping quiet? That's what you are demanding here. Even the bishop, the synod didn't even have Geometrics. They are not.
All right.
By now, everywhere could have been influenced.
Comrade,
yes.
What do you think will be the outcome? Or maybe, in as much as we are not going to preempt, the government, but what do you think it's supposed to be the outcome of his visit to Mbakwe? Does that mean he's going to, replicate what the governor then did?
Perhaps it could be, because we are not here to preempt. And I want him to surpass the record of Mbakwe. Yes, I want him to beat that record. Mbakwe's record is beatable.
I think our prayer should be anyone that meets with that record.
Okay,
Mbakwe's record is still beatable. Why records and state is for them to be broken too.
Yeah.
You understand? So if Usain Bolt finished a race within a particular a particular time in a distance, another person must also break the record. Who will do what? So that is how it has to be.
He can also break his own record.
Yes, he can also break his own record. It's still possible. Why I'm not happy is that we've had governors in this state who have spent 8 years, at least 2 persons, yet they cannot boast of nearing or even having those records Mbakwe actually established within 4 years. But I also have to tell the church or the synod, you understand, some of the expectations, some of the things they demanded cannot be done by the state. They were demanded for seaports, and I've never seen where a state government did or fit.
I can throw more light on that.
Yeah. So I know states are now beginning to build airports. You understand? But when you build the airport, to a large extent, you are also getting revenue from them. But the control of the airport is still in the NCAA and the rest of them and other aviation authorities. But what has to be done? That I think the two parties need rapprochement. Governor Otti does not need to be seen or perceived as the enemy of the synod or by extension the church. And the church also needs Governor Otti. He is the governor for now until something else happens. So they both need rapprochement.
All right, before
let me add something there about this.
Briefly, please.
You know, we are talking about synergy here.
Yeah.
If the representatives of Abia here can form a synergy with the governor, political party is over. We are talking about governance now. The senators in Abuja and rep members and assembly members, if they can pay a visit to whoever that is the signatory to approving
the Nigerian Port Authority,
good and fine with the governor, come together, forget about party, talk about the interest of the economic benefits to everybody. That can give us a seaport. It's not a rocket science. You know, also negotiate, bring the, I heard that the man was there already, he went there to bring him to Port Harcourt, bring him to travel between flyover and over. He still thinks himself, he has his brothers here, he must do something.
All right.
You know, synergy here.
All right, before we go, it is obvious that this present administration has not said or said anything good with the past administration. But before we round off today, let us look at this. The PDP also alleged that Governor-elect Otti left the Abia State House of Assembly under his thumb by making sure that he used his executive powers to install his majority Labour Party as a minority Labour Party as a majority leader of the House, which produced all the principal officers of the House. Is that democracy? We talked about that here, even when we know that the opposition was more in the House. And this thing is I don't know if it's a constitutional thing, but it is a practical thing. The party that is more in number forms the majority.
But then the House should have rules. The House has rules.
The rules were stepped down.
Yes, the rules were stepped down.
Because on that very day, the man that has the final authority is the clerk of the House.
Yes.
He was pushed to step down the rules. I was there the day the House was inaugurated, and for the first time within my political sojourn, I have not seen either the president or the council chairman or the governor seated right here while the legislature is inaugurated. The governor was there that day, and everybody will accuse him, and he's right, to have influenced everything that day. I saw what happened, arms were twisted and all that. And we also forgot that posterity is there waiting for us. Tomorrow is there waiting for us. In 1976, the man they call General Olusegun Obasanjo took over from Murtala Mohammed when he was assassinated by Dinka and his cohorts. At the end of the day, the man became head of state and signed a decree that says if you are privy to a plot of coup Your wife is privy to it, your friend, even if you're not a soldier, you are aware of it, you heard about it. On investigation, it is discovered that you are aware that you were part of, you had it and refused to. One of the suspects accused you of having been there, but you were not aware, you are not part of it, that if those coup plotters were executed, you die with them. My brother, 1995, lo and behold, Abacha, now they call it a phantom coup, where Oladipo, who was his 2IC, was accused of plotting to overthrow Abacha. One Bello family, a colonel, a lieutenant colonel, was standing there in the witness box during the trial by the tribunal, yes. And was pointing at Obasanjo. You know, Obasanjo is the very stubborn. He was in Denmark attending Transparency International meeting. And they said, okay, you were involved. It must be me. Obasanjo involved in a coup. At this age, no. They were asking him, stay back. He said, no, go and defend it. Lo and behold, he came back and they handcuffed him. Took him to the tribunal. And then they said, okay, even though you didn't participate, but we told you. The chairman of the tribunal brought out the decree. Okay, he signed this in 1976. And Obasanjo couldn't say anything, couldn't defend it. We are saying that today, Governor Otti'S went and stood and made sure that his man becomes the speaker. Oh, the man he wants becomes the deputy speaker. The man he wants twisted everything, turned the rules around. The minority became the majority. Posterity is waiting, and nobody is talking. Nobody knows who will be the governor tomorrow. And he will make reference to what happened in 2023. I rest my case.
Okay, comrade, shortly before we leave here, there was something I said before talking about this House of Assembly issue. I know we've talked about that some other time here in this platform. But what I am saying, is it proper for a particular government, because people, our viewers and listeners are equally watching and listening, is it proper for a particular government, instead of facing governance when come into office, to go on attack on the past administration?
You said,
is it proper
for them to attack? Well, I do not believe people like Mazin Bono, K. Ombadi, they will say politics without vendetta. Yes, politics without vendetta. Politics without bitterness. Politics should not be bitter. And when they say politics is a dirty game, I say, then let only pigs play. If politics is a dirty game, let only pigs play. But I have this to say, you see, the role of opposition is clear. Opposition is to provide an alternative, sometimes advice in a critical tone or in a critical manner. They don't have to be praising you because they are looking to unseat you. You don't wait for them to sing your praises. It is through criticism, what they will write as statements, what they will influence the press to write, how they will twist and read meanings, and even misconstrue your position or your stand in a particular thing. You learn from them and begin to build on. But if there is a past that needs to be interrogated, let that past be interrogated, no matter whose country is God. That is me for you. If people had in times past diverted what belongs to the state to personal use, let them face the judgments. It is simple. But that should not be diversionary. That should not mean that the government will not focus on the business of governance. We now throw more emphasis, more energy, more time. And then yes, you understand. Even our resources too, mind you, each time the panel sits, something must
definitely
cover. Yes. The state must cover up something. The state must cover up something. You understand? Because there may be sitting allowance we don't know.
No,
there may be other pecuniary incentives we have
not missionary work, yes. Incentives. So
yes, even the CSO speak even the CSO job site too. You also have purposes. So I think yes, if there is something wrong, we should interrogate them. But then it doesn't mean that should be the plank of his administration.
All right, our wonderful viewers, there are many more things to look at today, but because of our time, we're going to start here so far. We're going to come back on Friday for another wonderful edition of Issues of the Moment, and maybe then we'll exhaust what we are supposed to, what would have exhausted today, we'll finish it on Friday. Having said that, we are going to draw the curtain here. But before we go, let me start with you, Honorable Tony Abia. What is your final take before we leave? Just in.
Yeah. It is noon and this is lunchtime. So I'm leaving the studio with the management of Living TV to take my lunch. Still working for something.
Comrade, please,
what I have to say? Well, all, we've said all, actually. I think the governor will love him. We support him to do well, to excel. There's then those who are writing for him. Some of the statements, when I read them, I know context and I know content. Yes, if you have to address the synod, go straight address and call it the 17th synod, and don't address the church as a body, then that is by the way. Then again, visiting the wife of the governor, the elect Mbakwe is not bad. Is also solidarity.
Others should do that.
Others should do that because I know the wife of Milonsi died the other day, and I have to be open about it. It was only Governor Joseph Okalo who I remember vividly was actually bringing this one.
Former Senate President,
yes, I know that. Except those ones.
Okay, they was also renamed folk show after that. Even though that did it in 1983, he named folk show Sam Bakwe. The soldiers helped and changed it.
Unfortunately, it didn't stick.
Today we are back to that. Folk show is now known as Sam Bakwe.
There it should be.
Yeah.
There must be something.
Yeah, definitely. Otti'S should even do more than that and name one very critical structure in Abia. After this,
particularly in Abia. Even a Ghanaian, Michael Okara. Michael Okara is another person.
He can also fix Abia hotels here, fix it, get international hotel managers to, pack on the place, then name it after this.
All right, our wonderful viewers and listeners, I am happy and glad that you've been there throughout this program. I'm very happy and glad. Thank you for being there. Continue watching Living TV. Even after now, many more good programs are going to come your way from this level of the Living Television. We are happy with you. From my far left today is Honorable Tony Abia of Democracy. We are happy to have you here today.
Thank you, Prof. If I'm invited again, I will come. You have to fix Abia. You have to fix Abia.
All right, and then Comrade Nnamdi Lekwachi, very pleased to have you here again today.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Wonderful viewers. Remember, Nigeria is our country and Abia is our state. We ain't going to run away from here. We are very happy and pleased with our governor, Alex Oti, PhD. We are very happy. We all want you to do well. We all want you to succeed in your governance. We want you to become the best. We want you to be better than Mbakwe. Today, nobody can talk about development of the three states in one, Imo, Abia, and Ebonyi, without mentioning Dr. Sam Ononaka, Mbakwe, barrister. And that's exactly what we are praying for. That is exactly what we are looking at. And Abians, we're so happy when we announce the governor. And nothing, I don't pray that anything would put that interest. Having said so, here we'll come to the end of the program. I remain your command, Chinedum Adiele. Keep it with us on Friday for another wonderful edition of this program, Issues of the Moment. Bye for now.